Good evening, Shavua Tov. Welcome to Finchley for tonight's third of our 8 Nights of Light Chanukah program. I hope that you all had a wonderful Shabbat. I hope that despite our circumstances, you're enjoying Chanukah as much as possible, and that in particular, the 8 Nights of Light program and the other online activities on US TV and elsewhere are helping you to stay connected. So a big Chanukah Sameach from Finchley Synagogue, the Kinlos community, where I'm Michael Leitner. I'm one of the rabbis and I'm privileged to work. And I'm going to light Chanukah candles now from my lounge, where you can see. And then we're going to go straight over to Belmont Shul, where there's going to be a fantastic Chanukah concert led by my friends and colleagues, Rabbi Mark Levine of Belmont and Reverend Shmuley Aronson of Sutton. Tremendous singers, and they've got wonderful musicians with them. It's going to be a great evening. So I'm going to light the candles now. I'll say the brachot, I'll say the blessings, and then we'll go straight over to Belmont for the songs after the lighting of the candles and the beginning of the Kumzitz. Okay, so it's my Blue Peter moment. Here's one that I prepared earlier just in case. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שעשה ניסים לאבותינו בימים ההם בזמן הזה. Happy Hanukkah and enjoy the Kumzitz.
Hello everyone, welcome to Belmont. Hanei Rosalalu anu madlikim, Hanei Rosalalu she'anu madlikim, Yala nisim, Yala niflaot, Yala teshuvot, Yala milchamot. Hanei Rosalalu she'anu madlikim, Hanei Rosalalu she'anu madlikim, Yala nisim, Yala niflaot, Yala teshuvot. מלחמות שעשית לאבותינו, שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם, בימים ההם בזמן הזה, בימים ההם, בימים ההם בזמן הזה.
בשם תוידו נדבר להסתכל מטבע מצרם נביה אז זה כמו בשיר מזמור חנוכת המזבח אז זה כמו בשיר מזמור חנוכת המזבח יבוא נקבצו עליו אזי בימי חשמלים ופרצו חומות וגדולה וטימו כל השמנים ומילוי זקנים נעשו נס לשושנים בני בינו ימי שמוינו קבו שירורנו ימי שמונה כבושי הורנה
Chanukah Sameach! Shavua Tov! Chanukah Sameach! Welcome live to Belmont. We are here on behalf of US TV, Belmont Synagogue, Sutton and District Synagogue. I am Rabbi Mark Levine. It's wonderful to be with you. This is Reverend Shmuley Aronson. Everyone give them a wave. We have fabulous, fabulous musicians here that are making this an incredible atmosphere. We have Yuval from Kedma and Omri on guitar here. And we're going to have such a fun evening with you. This Havdalah, Chanukah, Kumzitz, sing along. Wherever you are at home, make sure you've got something warm or even maybe a l'chaim to have a drink with us. Make sure you've lit your Chanukah candles as we have done here. And we're going to start off with Havdalah. Reverend Aronson, should we do it together? So I'm going to start. So, of course, hopefully by now, being that Shabbat went out about 24 hours ago, hopefully you've done Havdalah. Reverend Aronson hasn't himself done Havdalah, so we are going to we're going to do that for you now with us together before we move on. So
if you haven't done Havdalah, grab a cup of grape juice, grab some spices, grab a candle, and join along.
You ready? Hine el Yeshua si eftach v'lo yefcha ki ozi v'zimras kasher vayehi li Yeshua shemai v'zasa Birchasecha Zerah Asher Tzavoi Simanu Miskav Lanu Eloi Yakoseno Oya Asher Tzavoi Sasher Adam Boteach Ba Asher Moshiach HaMelech Yaneinu V'Yom Koreinu LaYehudi Oh, my soul, oh, Rabbi Simcha, und das Asoika kennt ihr Lanu, Kois Yeshua Yisesa, V'Shem Adonai Ekro. La 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagofet. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei b'samim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol ben lechoshech ben Yisrael ambi ben yoim mashevi
ששת ימי המעשה ברוך אתה אדונוי המאדיר מקודש לחוי
Sami nafshe meyachela itinu likos e'ayin lahavdala lanev sami nafshe meyachela itinu likos e'ayin lahavdala
imtinu likos e'ayin להבדלה תיתנו לי כוס של יין להבדלה תיתנו לי כוס של יין להבדלה תיתנו לי כוס של יין להבדלה
We sing with us להנר וסמי נפשי מייחלה יין להבדלה לנר ולבשמי נפשי מייחלה איתינו לקרות יין להבדלה
תיתנו לי כוס של יין להבדלה תיתנו לי כוס של יין להבדלה תיתנו לי כוס של יין להבדלה תיתנו לי כוס של יין להבדלה.
Wow. Beautiful. Guys, thank you so much. So, into this Chanukah evening, we've lit 3 candles. So we prepared for you here a few songs that we're going to sing together, and we hope you enjoy it. Of course,
And join along.
yeah,
Join
of
along.
course, if you can sing along with us at home, make sure you can join in. We want you to be doing that with us. So the first song we're going to sing for you this evening is a song, Ani Ma'amim. Ani Ma'amim, I believe, I have full faith. And it's such an important song for Chanukah, these long winter, dark nights. We light candles, and candles represent the belief, the faith that we have, that there will always be a light at the end of a tunnel. So in the darkness, we have to keep strong hold on our faith. We have to hope and pray there will always be, even in darkness, even during difficult times, goodness that will follow. And please God, Be'ezrat Hashem, we can hold on to our faith together and sing. באמונה שלמה בביאס המשיח אני מאמין
אני מאמין באמונה שלמה בביאס המשיח
She's my way, בכל יום שיבוא, בכל יום שיבוא,
אף על פי שיסמא יעיל כל זה, אחכה לו, בכל יום שיבוא, בכל יום שיבוא, אף על פי שיזמא יעיל כל זה,
כל זה אחר אלוהים בכל יושב. Take it away guys, come on. It's beautiful music. Good, huh?
Okay. So the next song we're going to sing you tonight is a song you may recognize. But I'm going to sing it with a story. And some of you in Sutton might have heard this story before. But I feel this story is so powerful. It speaks to the message of Chanukah. It's a really beautiful story. But let's start with the song. Lehoidois Lashem Toi lehoidois Lashem Unezamer L'shimcho Elyon Toi lehoidois Lashem Toi Lashem Toi lehoidois Lashem Unezamer L'shimcho Elyon Toi lehoidois Lashem Lehagim b'boker chastecho להגיד במויקר חסדךו ויאמונותו בלילות ויאמונותו בלילות טוי טוי להוידות להשם. So the question they ask, see in these words, להגיד בבוקר חסדךו ואמונותו בלילות, to tell of your loving kindness in the morning, to speak about God's kindness during daytime and your faithfulness at night. Daytime represents a time when there's clarity, when everything's going well, when everything's good, whilst nighttime, that represents a lack of clarity, that represents uncertain times, maybe something like what we're going through right now. But shouldn't we be singing God's kindness also at night? Shouldn't we be singing about faith also during the daytime? So I want to tell you a story. It was back in the day during the Holocaust. My grandfather, who lived with his father and brother in Holland, they made their way over to France because there was somewhat more freedom there. But there wasn't total freedom, and they had to be in somewhat of a Jewish ghetto in the south of France. But they weren't allowed to travel. In order to travel, they needed special documents. So how did they obtain the documents? They would go to a doctor or whatever purpose they needed, and if they were certified to travel, they were okay to travel. And they had a plan. My great-grandfather and my great-uncle, my grandfather, they had a plan. France was very unstable at the time, and at the time in South Africa it was still okay. So they thought, let us sign up with a TV company. They were filming in South Africa. Let us bribe this company to take us on as employees, and we'll be able to travel with them and escape Europe and go to Africa. So they turned to my grandfather, and this is what they said. Our lives are in your hand. I want you to go tomorrow morning to the optician and gain a permit for yourself to travel to Paris. And when you're there, go to this TV station and get them to take us on, so we and you can survive. You can imagine the responsibility my grandfather felt at that time. He had his whole family survival somewhat on his shoulders. But he took it and he went to the optician, who was used to requests of this kind. And they were sitting in a waiting room. And this is how it would work in those days. They were all in a waiting room. The nurse would go round with the optician and ask what the problem is. If it was something small, they would sort it out on the spot there and there in the waiting room. But if it was something a little bit bigger, the optician would take them afterwards into his office and check him over. And so my grandfather somehow hinted to him what he wanted. He wanted transport papers so that he could freely travel to Paris. And fine, put some drops in his eyes, he said to the nurse. The nurse put some drops in his eyes. The optician saw him later on in the office, gave him papers so that he could travel freely to Paris. And he got on the train, heading up north, and he was sitting next to this woman, and he got talking a little bit. He explained the situation a little bit, and they traveled on. As it was coming towards the evening, all of a sudden, he went completely blind. He couldn't see anything, nothing at all. And as they got to the station in Paris, the lady said, listen, where are you staying? He said, I've got this hotel booked downtown. She said, if I'm seen in the streets of Paris walking with a Jewish man, I'm going to be done. I'm sorry, but I just cannot take you to your hotel. But as they got off the train, she saw a sleeping coach on the side of the tracks. And she said, listen, the best I can do is I'll help you onto the coach. Go to sleep there in the morning, stumble your way out of there, and you'll find your way to the hotel or to the TV station that you were meant to be going to. And as my grandfather lay there at night, you can't imagine what was going through his head. My whole family are relying on me to get out of this torture. No TV station's going to take a blind man to do some filming. He felt total despair. And as he was lying there, he closed his eyes in a prayer. He said, dear God, my world right now is literally so dark. I cannot see anything, nothing at all. But I know how much you love me. And dear God, no matter what, know how much I love you too. I don't know your plan, I don't know your way of thought, but God, oh God, I have so much faith in you. Whatever you do, it's for the best. And I don't know how, but somehow, I wouldn't have been able to sleep last night. Somehow he managed to fall asleep. His trust in God was so great. And he woke up in the morning, he opened his eyes and he could see everything absolutely fine. And he goes out of the station. And on his way out of the station, the newspaper boy is screaming there, daily issue, daily issue. And he takes a look at the paper and he sees, the night before, the Nazis had invaded the hotel that he was meant to be sleeping at. And they had deported every single Jew. Sometimes we go through darkness. And as you said, Robin Mark, there's a light at the end of every tunnel. But to quote the movie Slumdog Millionaire, there's a light at the end of every tunnel. But if you see no light, it just means that you're not at the end. And I think this is the message of Chanukah, Everything that happens to us in the dark of time, in the winter month, it's cold, it's dark. We light the candles at night, and that flame that represents Torah wisdom, that represents spirituality, that represents godly connection, that takes us through. And that is why we say, in the daytime, in the morning, when everything is so bright and clear, we can speak of the kindness of God. We see that clarity. But at nighttime, when it's difficult, we can only say ve'emunatcha. We can only live through our faith, knowing and believing that God ultimately has a plan. Ultimately, at the end, somehow, sometime, it's going to be for the best of us. We just don't know that yet. But we do know that God loves us so, so much. Oy lehagid bamboike chastechon. Oy lehagid bamboike chastechon. V'yemunoschom ba'leilois, v'yemunoschom ba'leilois. Toy toy lehoinoi chashem. Di la 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 la. Di la la la.
These glasses make our candles dance. Oh, Aronson, you got your... How amazing do these candles look now?
Fantastic, there's like a magenta bit surrounding the flame of the candle.
It's amazing. If you want a pair of these glasses, join Belmont. That's all I can tell you.
Don't worry, we'll get them at Sutton too. We'll get them at Sutton.
But you know the car, you ready? Okay, here we go. Just like these candles are dancing, we're going to dance now. Okay, here we go. Ready? Ken the band, let's take it away! Ho, ho.
שעשית לאבותינו, בימים ההם בזמן הזה,
ועל הניסים ועל הפורקן
ועל הגבורות,
ועל תסירות
ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו, בימים ההם בזמן הזה.
One more time!
על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו,
בימים ההם בזמן הזה
אם ירננו חוים את בגדולי ותימו כל הזמנים יבואו יוננים בסועלי עליי מחשמנים חוים את בגדולי ותימו כל הזמנים Let me hear your hope מן הסכנה כאן אעזור להתלשוי שני וימיני וינו וימי שמוינו שירו לנוני ומינו הסכנה כאן אעזור להתלשוי שני בני וינו וימי שמוינו קובו שירו לנוני יבואו יוננים בסועלי ותימו כל הזמנים יבואו יוננים בסועלי ההפתעים מחשמנים וחוסכים את חוימות מגדולה ותימו כל הזמנים ומינוי סכן כאנים נחזור נצלשוי שני בני וינו ימי שמוינו כמו שירו לנוני ומינוי סכן כאנים נחזור נצלשוי שני בני וינו ימי שמוינו כמו שירו לנוני
So much fun. Hope you're having a good time at home. We're not quite finished just yet. Thought we'd do something in English, maybe. And very, very pertinent to our parasha this week. Feel free to play along, guys, as I'm talking. Perfect. It's a song that you might recognize from a movie that came out a few years ago. A Million Dreams. A Million Dreams, sung by, I think it was Hugh Jackman, I think was the guy that sang it. Millions of dreams. You know, in our Sedra, in our parasha this morning, we read the story brought to life, I suppose, in the Torah, but became worldly known, maybe with the help of Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice, about a dreamer, about Yosef HaTzadik, the holy Joseph, who was known as a dreamer. And we read about his dreams. We read the dreams of, we will read next week the dreams of Pharaoh. And we read about the animosity in the house of Jacob and the house of Yaakov. One son, Yosef, was a dreamer. And he would tell his dreams to anyone that would listen, even if they didn't listen necessarily. And these dreams he had, his brothers started to build an animosity, a hatred towards Yosef, towards their brother. What was at the very root of that feeling of animosity? Why were they so bothered about their brother Yosef? Maybe it's because they weren't dreamers. Maybe it's because they weren't able to open their eyes so clearly and look beyond their self, look beyond what the world really was around them. Maybe they didn't have the ability to have the imagination and the hope and the belief to want to be great, to want to see the world, to want to be a believer. Yosef was a dreamer, he was a believer, maybe his head was in the clouds, but God gives us a license to dream. He says, go out into the world, dream big, think big, have big plans. Go fulfill your destiny, because if you stay in your own daladamas, if you stay in your own four walls all of your life, you can never truly achieve greatness, you can never truly achieve your destiny. And that was the life of Yosef, the holy Joseph, who spent many a dark year, in cells, in slavery. But he was only just in the middle of his journey. But he had the ability, the want, the faith to open his eyes and to dream about a brighter future for himself and for all people. So we should, and we have license to dream. Sing with me along this beautiful song all about dreams. Oh, beautiful. I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I lost my mind. I don't care if they call me crazy. We can live in a world we can't design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. Many dreams are keeping me awake. Vision of the one I see. Many dreams, it's all it's gonna take. Many dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build, every room inside is filled. Things from far away, special things I can dial, each one there to make me smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I lost my mind. I don't care if they call me crazy. Run away to a world we can't design. 'Cause every night I lay in bed, the brightest colors fill my head, and million dreams are keeping me awake. I dream of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, I wanna be a part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, sing to bring you along to the world you see, the world I close my eyes to see, close my eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, brightest colors fill my head, million dreams are keeping me awake. Dream of what the world could be, vision of the one I see. Million dreams, it's all it's gonna take. Million dreams for the world we're gonna make. Keep dreaming. Have millions of dreams. Wow. Love that.
Fantastic. That was amazing.
Immense.
Mark the beat.
Are you feeling in the wedding mood?
I reckon so.
Are you feeling in the wedding mood? Should we do
I've
some
been
wedding
missing
songs?
it. I've been missing it.
Yeah,
Let's go.
we've been a bit weddingless in the last few months, really in the last year. 2020, unfortunately, so many brides and grooms unable to have their weddings. A few decided to try and squeeze in between the lockdowns. So we're going to dedicate a little medley of chuppot songs, but songs from a chuppah, just for all of you guys and girls out there that are planning your weddings. Bezrat Hashem, please God, we'll have you under the chuppah. If you need any singers, by the way, you know, we are available. Why not? Here we go. Take it away. Rabbi Shmuley, Reverend Shmuley. Boi shalom teret ba'ala gam v'zimcha u'matzolo toch emunei am segula boi kala. From the top, here we go.
Boi v'sholom ateres ba'alo gam v'simcha u'solo toi monei am seguro boi kalo boi kalo boi kalo boi kalo boi kalo boi kalo boi kalo
Kol
Give it up for the amazing Omri on guitar. Fantastic Yuval on keys. I know you know this one at home. We're going to sing it together. Come on. Shmini, here we go. Oh, you sing it. Mazel tov, anyone getting married? Looking forward to celebrating with you.
Abruk.
So we're gonna end off two more songs. We've had a request in. Look at that, a request, guys. Wasn't on the reshima, wasn't on the plan. But how about V'zakeni? V'zakeni comes up because you know what? We daven on our kinderlach, on our children, the world's children. They are the lights that brighten up the world. They shine with their goodness, with their purity. purity, with their good deeds, with their ma'asim tovim, with their Torah, everything. These flickering candles that represent our children. So let's sing for Zakeni before we draw to an end. You want to start? We didn't plan this, but you know, we know it. We know the words.
Zakeni legade, boni munei boni, chachomim unevoni. Oh Yahweh Hashem Yireh Elohim, Am she'emet v'rak kodesh b'Hashem dveikim.
Zakeni legade, boni munei boni, chachomim unevoni. Hashem Yireh Elohim, Anshe Yemes Zera Kodesh B'Hashem Dveikim.
Meir Etzoylo, V'tiro Masim Tovim, U'bechol Meleches Avodas Avoidem. Meir Etzoylo, ובכל מלאכת עבודת עבוירים.
מאיר מסעולם, בתורה ומעשים טובים, ובכל מלאכת עבודת עבוירים. מאיר מסעולם, בתורה ומעשים טובים, ובכל מלאכת עבודת עבוירים.
ומאירים את צוילו, בתירו מעשים טובים, ובכל מלאכת עבודת עבוירים. ומאירים את צוילו, בתירו מעשים טובים, ובכל מלאכת עבודת עבוירים.
בכל מלאכת עבודת עבוירים.
בכל מלאכת עבודת עבוירים.
So,
Let's go.
encore, last song. Last song. This is how you end off a Kumzitz. I don't know about you, Reverend Shmuley, but when I was in yeshiva and we had a Chanukah, we had a nice sing-song on a Shabbos afternoon or a late-night Kumzitz, this is the song we ended on. You agree?
I couldn't agree more.
Couldn't agree more. I'll never forget those nights. Such beautiful, beautiful song. Adon Olam, Master of the Universe. We've spoken about faith tonight, shining light in the darkness. While our faith goes to the one above, the omnipresent, all-being Almighty, Creator of the worlds, the one who sustains us, gives us purpose, gives us life. B'ezrat Hashem, we should live up to everything that is expected of us. We're doing our best with Chanukah, and may in a zechut and a merit of us together, davening together, praying together, shining the lights together, we will take the bonfire, the light, into the next, 2021, not quite the next year, how we view it, but into 2021. Please God for good things.
Amen. Adon Elohim, Hashem Olam, B'terem kol Yitzir Nivra, Li'es Naso, B'chefo kol, Azai Melech, Shmo Nikra.
Hashem li
Let's sing you. We're gonna have the music. We want to see you at home. Let's go. I can't hear you. Come on, come on.
Chanukah Sameach, Shavua Tov, on behalf of the Kedma Band, to Omri, to Yuval, to Reb Shmuley, to myself. Thank you for joining. I'm a Lichtincha, a Freilichen Chanukah. Shavua Tov, have a wonderful week. Thank you for tuning in, for joining with us. You can watch this a million times if you want, because it's on the US TV, YouTube, Facebook, millions of other places.
Big shout out to the Sutton and Belmont communities.
Big shout out to our various communities, wherever you're watching from in the world. Hoping you're having a blessing-filled
Thank you so much for joining
Chanukah.
us.
Thank you for joining us. And we are signing out now, so thank you very much. Send us some comments in if you had a good time. Any requests, maybe we'll do it again.
It's really important you keep singing. Keep singing.
Adon Olam.